Hello everyone, welcome to Anantalakshmi Academy. In this academy, I am planning to cover the mathematics syllabus of class 10th students. So let me begin with the important chapter trigonometry. Trigonometry. The name as it sounds, it is not derived from an English word. Instead, it is derived from three Greek words, which is tri, gon, and metry. Tri meant three, gon meant sides, and metry is nothing but the measurement. So trigonometry deals with three sides measurement. So if you try to recall any polygon which just has three sides, it is nothing but the triangle. So trigonometry is the subject which deals with triangle. So now that we understand the meaning of the term trigonometry, let us figure out the applications of trigonometry even before getting into the chapter. So where exactly trigonometry can be used? Where and how can we use trigonometry? In order to understand that, let me give you an example. Let us consider an example of, all of you must be aware of the slider, right? Slider in the parks, children will be very much interested to get onto the sliders. How does the slider look like? So this is how the slider will be, and there should be a ladder to get onto it, right? This is how the ladder is. If I draw a line joining the ladder to the base ground, and it is going to meet the ground at a particular angle. Let us call this as theta. How do you get onto the slider? We just climb up the stairs and then enjoy the slider, right? So what happens if I am going to change this angle theta? Everybody must be aware of the angles by now. So if say for suppose this theta particular angle is 45 degrees. If I am going to change this to probably 30 degrees, will the children still be able to slide or not? How do we figure that out? That is where trigonometry helps us. Let me give you one more live example of painting a wall. Let me consider a person is trying to paint a wall. Okay, this is the size of the wall. What happens initially when until it is up to his height, till the level he could paint with his hand, he'll be trying to paint up till his hand can rise. And after that, what does everybody do? They might be trying to get a ladder and then start painting the wall. Now the ladder is applicable till here. What happens? He has to paint the rest of the wall as well. Now he will start lifting the ladder up so that he could paint the rest of this. Okay, let me draw a line. Ladder should rest on the ground, right? Okay, so this is the ground, the ladder is resting on the ground. Now, if you look at this particular ladder is making an angle. Let us consider this as theta. And when we raise the ladder, it is also making an angle theta. Let me assume this is at a point A, and this is at a point B, and this is a C. So if you look at here, this ladder is making a particular angle theta as we have earlier discussed. Now, when he is trying to paint the wall at a higher point, there is a change from the distance, right? If you consider point B as the wall, from earlier point A, now we have moved to a point, let us say P. Okay? How do we figure out this distance? What is the distance AB or PA? What is the change in this? Now that he is trying to paint at a higher level, what is the change in the angle? This is where our trigonometry is used. These are the live examples where trigonometry is used. So if you understand this correctly, whatever the triangles that I have drawn, I have mentioned there is an angle theta, and this particular line, the ladder, is perpendicular to the ground. Even the wall is perpendicular to the ground. Trigonometry mostly deals with, as I have mentioned earlier, this deals with triangle, and most importantly, right angle triangle. Whatever the syllabus that is covered in our 10th class is mostly dealing with right angle triangle. Alright, so let us discuss more about right angle triangles. So how does a right angle triangle look like? Like this. Okay. For a right angle triangle, there should be a right angle, which is this. Let me name the triangle A, B, and C. Alright. So this is let us consider this angle as a theta. So in a right angle triangle, we have a right angle. So there are three sides which trigonometry deals with. So what is this side called? Everybody must be aware of the great mathematician Pythagoras. He has given a rule for a right angle triangle, right? As per him, what is the, let us name the sides first. What is this side? This is known as hypotenuse. What is the side that is facing the ground? This is known as base. And what is from P to the point C? This is known as height. This is what we have earlier known, and as per our mathematician Pythagoras, it is given that hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus height square. Isn't it? This is what we have learnt in our earlier classes. This is what we are already aware of the right angle triangles. So within trigonometry, we use a kind of different terminology which is similar to this, but let me tell you what is the terminology. This is, yes, hypotenuse, and AB is known as base. Yes, this is a side which is adjacent to theta. In trigonometry, we talk with respect to theta. Theta is nothing but the angle made with respect to the base or ground. So with this theta, this is a side which is adjacent. So we call this as adjacent side. The base is nothing but the adjacent side. And if you look at this height, this is exactly opposite to angle theta, and this is known as the opposite side. Alright? So now that we have understood what trigonometry is, what is it going to deal with, and we have the right angle triangle, we have discussed about the Pythagoras theorem, and the new terminology, instead of base we are calling it as adjacent, and instead of height we are going to name it as opposite side. Alright? So let us get to the first concept in our trigonometry, which is nothing but the trigonometric ratios. The first topic is trigonometric ratios. I have seen many people using tricks to remember trigonometric ratios, but trust me, it is not necessary to use any tricks to understand the trigonometric ratios. You are aware of the right angle triangle earlier. It is just the side names have been changed. Theta, this is opposite side. Just think of it. Just understand the concept. Anything that is opposite to theta is known as an opposite side, and the one that is adjacent, which is nothing but the next to it, the side to it, is nothing but the adjacent side. So we have mainly three important trigonometric ratios. The first one is sine of A. Here we had an angle, right? Theta. For this angle, this name, what I am giving it as sine of A is nothing but, what is it? Opposite side by hypotenuse. It is nothing but opposite side by hypotenuse. Alright. Next trigonometric ratio, important trigonometric ratio, cosine of A, which is nothing but adjacent side by hypotenuse. Adjacent by hypotenuse. Sine is just opposite to it, opposite side by hypotenuse, and cos is adjacent side by hypotenuse. Okay, you just remember the right angle triangle, how it is written and how it is drawn. Once you name theta, it is easy for you to figure out the opposite side, adjacent side, and hypotenuse, which we are already aware of. Next important ratio is tangent of A. Tangent of A, which is nothing but opposite side by adjacent side. Opposite side by adjacent side. Tangent of A can also be named as sine by cos, which is nothing but sine of A by cosine of A. What is sine of A, which we have just derived? Opposite by hypotenuse. And cosine is nothing but adjacent by hypotenuse. Here the denominator gets cancelled and this becomes opposite by adjacent. So sine of A or sine theta or sine A. Look at the terminology. Sine of A or sine A or sine theta. Everybody is revolving around the same thing, that is theta. Okay, sine of A or sine A or sine theta is nothing but the opposite side by hypotenuse. Cosine is nothing but adjacent side by hypotenuse. Tangent of A is nothing but opposite side by adjacent side, which can also be given as sine of A by cosine of A. This is already written. Okay, these are the three important terms of trigonometric ratios. We have three more which are multiplicative inverses of these three. Let us discuss them as well. I'll be removing these things till here and let us write the cosine. Cosine is nothing but the multiplicative inverse of sine. Cosine of A is nothing but multiplicative inverse of sine of A, which is nothing but hypotenuse by opposite. And now we have secant, cosecant of A, which is nothing but the multiplicative inverse of cosine of A, which is nothing but the hypotenuse by adjacent. So we have cosecant, secant, and the last one is cotangent, which is the multiplicative inverse of tangent, 1 by tangent of A, which is nothing but adjacent by opposite side. So here totally we have discussed about 6 ratios: sine, cosine, tangent, cosecant, secant and cotangent. Do not worry about this. I have given the concept of this thing. Like sine is nothing but opposite by hypotenuse, cos is nothing but adjacent by hypotenuse, tangent is opposite by adjacent. Once you get to know these things, it is just the multiplicative inverse of these three. Cosecant is 1 by sine, secant is 1 by cos, tangent is cot. So if you learn these three perfectly, you will get to know the other three very easily. Alright. So now that we have known the concept of sine, cos and tan, let us write them in the name of the sides. Alright? Let us do this. Now that we have known the concept of how to define sine, cos, tan and the short forms of sine, cosine, tangent or sine, cos and tan. So let us write it here. Sine A is equal to, in terms of sides, it is opposite is nothing but BC by hypotenuse AC. Cos A is nothing but adjacent side AB by hypotenuse AC. Next, tan A is nothing but opposite by adjacent, which is BC by AB. Then comes the multiplicative inverses ratios. I am going to write them here. Cosecant of A. What is cosecant of A? Pause the video and try writing by yourself. And now look at it. So cosecant is nothing but the multiplicative inverse of sine A, which is AC by BC. Then secant. You should be able to write them by now if you have understood the concept. And then cot A. which is nothing but AB by BC. So this is the first topic, which is trigonometric ratios, how to define them and how to note them, the full forms of it and the short forms of it, and understanding the right angle triangle. So this is the very basic thing which we need to know in trigonometry. And depending upon this, we should be able to do the first exercise problems depending upon this topic. So even before we getting on to the exercises, I would strongly recommend you guys to go through the examples first, practice them, try doing them by yourself even before looking at the answer, and then we can jump on to the exercises. It is strongly recommended to practice the examples, because examples are the ones which give us clues to understand how to solve the problem. That's it in this video. We will be discussing about the problem part in the next video. Thank you.
3.
So if you feel the content is worth watching and it is you guys are able to understand it well, please do like, share and subscribe this channel, Anantalakshmi Academy, so that you will get to know whenever I post the continuation of this, you'll get to know and you can go through it as well. Thank you.